I hate the term dog trainer. In fact, I hate the term trainer altogether, because that's not actually what I do. What I have to do is take all of the systems of education and knowledge and translate them into a format that the average pet owner, whether they have a dog or a horse, can understand, so they can have a life of harmony. I would say that the biggest problem that we have with animal training is that it implies a type of doing, when in fact, really, we just want to be. Here's one animal I'm just hanging out with. So this was a senior dog I adopted from the local shelter. She was found starving to death on the side of the road. You couldn't really touch her too much, totally fear-based. And I just let her be. And so her being is rubbing like heck and horse poo and running around with me with the horses and just having fun, and then also with my other dogs. Now with my horses, when I first got them, I felt a lot of pressure from other trainers, horse trainers that are here in this area, because a lot of people use the negative reinforcement. What's negative reinforcement? The marketing term is that pressure and release concept. But the problem with that is it's competitive. It still is putting pressure. You are forcing a result. And some horses, they don't want to be forced. You force a horse too much, and you could get some real problems. And that's no different with the dogs, actually. So when I trained dolphins and sea lions and seals as a young person, what I learned through that experience was, besides suffering from huge pressure because I had to perform, I had to get results. I had to train these animals to offer a show. I was under tremendous pressure. And in those days, so I started in 1980, I was 20 years old, I knew nothing. I had come from working as a young student with the British Horse Society, so again, in those days, and I think it's still the same today, maybe, it was all very much based upon a structure. So the structure, the system of thinking around training is imposed onto the animals. There isn't really a case of stopping, looking, observing, and seeing the natural behaviors unfold. It's very much a case of coming in and saying, we want this behavior, or trick as it was known back in my day. If we don't get the trick, you don't get fed. I called that route training, or training by like circus training. It's very traditional, and it isn't really with a thorough understanding around behavior science from operant conditioning from Skinner. Okay, so I've done my career backwards. I've had over 40 years of experience, and it's only been in the last 15 years I've been educating myself as to what I've actually been doing. Isn't that right? This is Dara, another one of my babes. Anyway, I would say that if you have an animal and someone's telling you that you should be a leader, and if your animal is misbehaving, then you're not a good enough leader, that is so it's so untrue, but it's like it doesn't help anybody, because what this is all about is relationship. How does it feel to be with your animal, no matter what that feels like? And I am very, very fortunate, because I did work with dolphins, and they showed me what that felt like. When you get to swim with dolphins, after all the people have gone, it's very quiet in the pool, and you dive down and you swim with them in their life, in their element, and you share with that That cannot be replicated. But that, I learned from that. So my dogs are being dogs. Little Nini over there got aroused by something in the back and all huff and puff. Well, that's dogs. That's what we've bred them to be. So she's just being a dog. Let your animal be. But observe it. Understand it. Don't feel that you are under pressure because you are training, that you have to achieve something. Now, if you're a professional trainer of any animal and you happen to be watching this, I doubt it. But if you happen to be there, I would say, you know, I really hope that you don't get burnt out. I really hope that you don't feel so under pressure that you hurt yourself because the client is asking you to do something. I had to decide a little while ago to step away from that. Even though people talk bad about me, people talk bad about everybody. But I mean, it's like being able to say, I can do this. I can help train your dog. You know, training actually is really easy. That's not it. What is challenging is understanding what your animal is telling you. And for me, in the domestic animal field, so if we define captivity, that includes domestic animals. The definition of that is imposing an artificial system of communication using behaviors, tricks, whatever you want to call it, to act as that vehicle of communication across species. But if you have an animal that comes in and they are from the wild, so I got a couple of Mustangs that came in a few years ago. I had forgotten that part because I've been in the domestic animal field for this will be year 24 now. And I had to really take a big step back because one of these geldings said to me, gentle. Dogs being dogs in the background. I have 4 females. And Malai, that one there, is having a response because I have another female in the back that's just come in for boarding. So this is real life. This is it happening. Real life. All the animals are feeling these different animals come and go and having a reaction to it. So here's Nini letting me know how she feels about it. Hey, Nini. And we don't want to constantly correct because of our idea around what we think behavior is. Try to let it all go and be in relationship with it. Feel okay within yourself about it, and you can work with the ebb and flow of the energy of these animals. And with people, you know. I mean, I think that our ideas and our thought forms around, or our belief systems around what we think a well-behaved animal is, whether it's a horse or a dog, is actually what gets us into trouble. When you step back and let it all go and just watch the animal, a domestic animal is just trying to survive in captivity. And the more pressure we put on them at our pace, not theirs, at our pace, which is an artificial pace of time, it's usually too fast. It's not enough time for them to integrate the information, the energy coming through, and to want to trust you because they feel constantly under pressure. This is my personal experience, of course. Some of you are probably total Zen folks out there and you don't feel that at all, which is great. Let me know. All right, that's my 2 cents worth on a Monday. Cheers.